Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, I'm very serious. We have rockets that are hitting Israel as we speak. 5 rockets have been fired just in the last few moments. 1 has hit. I'm going to tell you all about that in just a second. First of all, let me just say, hey, I was online the other day. Let me just say, I stumbled across a video. It was from Chuck Norris. What? Yeah, it's insane. He's in his 80s, and he says he still feels like he's in his 50s. Matter of fact, he looked pretty good. It was pretty shocking. He had some pretty cool tips in there, too, on what he's doing, including these 3 different foods that he avoids like a plague. First, I was a bit skeptical. He explained all the things that he was doing, and it was super simple. But then I tried some of them myself, and they were so easy that I'm even feeling amazed. So look, at first, I didn't really want to share this info, but I thought, maybe, you know what? You all are so loyal to me. Why not? And listen, so I had to share it with you. And since what happened to Chuck and me could also happen to you. That's right, guys. Any new method, of course, your results can vary, but watch the video below this video. You will be stunned. Go right now to chuckdefense.com/Paul. That's chuckdefense.com/Paul. You'll be glad that you did. Amen to that. Wow. Anyway, yes, tickets are on sale right now because in a little bit of a week from now on Saturday, June 21st, I'm going to be teaching a 3-hour teaching on the zombie apocalypse, the Legion, the return of Legion, the demons, the demonic forces that are attacking humanity, including you and me. We are encountering forces from the dark side, but I'm going to teach you what they are from some of the great teaching I received from Dr. Lester Sumrall. And also we'll hear from Russ Dizdar and some other. So this will be a powerful 3-hour teaching on demonology. All right. So I'm going to show you something real quick here. This is right off Heidi's phone. Here's the rocket reports coming in all over, coming in at Israel right now. This has just been in the last 15 minutes. There's been 5 rockets. They really are focusing them near Jerusalem. And Bet Shemesh, which I've been there before, and Bet Elit, some other locations, okay? But these rockets were really focusing toward Jerusalem. 1 has hit. It has hit. I've seen the pictures of it, and it hit actually in the West Bank, but not far from the city limits of Jerusalem, really. And so here's what I'm going to give you an update what's been going on in about the last 45 minutes or so. Here's what we know, okay? Israel has been ordered to stay very close to their shelters, and right now a lot of them are being told shelter in place as the country is bracing for Iran's response to the IDF strikes, all right? 2 minutes ago, Iran media reported massive explosions in their country in the center of Iran. Now, 3 minutes ago, Jerusalem said that to threaten the Iranian oil refineries if Iran targets any Israeli population centers with their missiles. This is what was said. 7 minutes ago, Iran media said air defenses intercepted some projectiles that were headed into Tehran, Iran, the capital. And 10 minutes ago, the Red Crescent says that 3 Palestinian children were injured in shrapnel after Yemen fired a missile that landed in the West Bank. It injured 3 Palestinian children. Again, it was the Houthis' missile, the Houthi rebels' missile from Yemen, landed in the West Bank, not far from the city limits where you cross the fence into Jerusalem. It landed and injured 3 Palestinian children. Now, Iran media is reporting massive explosions in their country. They said that in Isfahan, a major city in central Iran, in a province that is home to several nuclear facilities, according to the Mirror News Agency out of Egypt, A few minutes ago, this massive explosion was heard in Isfahan, according to Mir, without the Mir, which is an Egyptian television network. Now, Jerusalem said to threaten Iranian oil refineries if Iran targets any Israeli population centers with missiles. So if Iran fires any missiles into Israel, Israel has said they will blow up Iran's oil refineries. Now, Iran media says that the air defenses have intercepted projectiles over the capital of Tehran, Iran. Iranian air defenses have intercepted some projectiles. I don't know if they were drones or what, over the capital of Tehran today, according to state media, as Israel vowed to keep up the pressure after a wave of strikes on military and nuclear sites last night. Enemy projectiles were intercepted by Tehran air defenses, according to the IRNA news agency, state news agency of Iran, saying that they are being fired upon, but they are knocking them down. But again, I told you the Red Crescent says that 3 Palestinian children were injured by shrapnel from a Yemen missile that landed in the West Bank and injured 3 children. Also, 3 children have been injured. Now, Iranian air defenses have activated in central Tehran, according to state media. Okay, Iran's air defenses were activated today as Supreme Leader the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei compound and presidential office are located. So there was, again, Iranian air defense abilities were activated just a few minutes ago as there was some type of an attack on the Supreme Leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's compound and presidential office. We do not know if it was hit or not. This has just happened. But the Iranians are saying that they're using their defense mechanisms against it. Now, the IDF has spoken 10 minutes ago. They've instructed their citizens, and that's why I'm coming in here, because Heidi was showing us the reports of rocket fire. 5, we've counted so far, 5 alerts in the last few minutes have come in, being fired at Jerusalem. But the IDF has instructed their civilians, the Israelis, to remain very close to their bomb shelters until further notice. The IDF Home Front Command is instructing civilians to remain close to their bomb shelters and wait for further instruction. The Home Front Command has now instructed residents across the entire nation of Israel to remain very close to your protected spaces. Movement in public areas should be minimal. They don't want Israel saying, we're on lockdown. Don't go out on the street. Anyway, the Shabbat is beginning. This is the beginning of the Sabbath. So they don't really stir around much anyway at this time. And they're all being told to stay very close to their shelters because the rockets have begun to come flying in, but they're coming in. All 5 of them so far have been coming in from the Houthis out of Yemen, but that doesn't mean that Iran won't fire theirs. And we don't know exactly what all Iran has. Have they, do they have even better sophisticated rockets than what they have showed us? Now, the IDF is conducting a war in Iran right now. It's not an operation. I repeat, it is a war. A senior military official for the IDF said in a briefing with reporters, he said, we are in a historic event. This is not an operation, although it's called the Rising Lion operation. He said, this isn't an operation. This is a planned war. Okay? And IDF, a ballistic missile launched at Israel by the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen, did impact near Hebron in the southern West Bank. All right? The missile did hit the Palestinian town of Sa'ar. There are no immediate reports of injuries there. The IDF says that, of course, that this launch at the incoming missiles, and I've got some, I'm looking at a picture of it right here. And the explosion. It is a video. It's on X. I don't know if I can pull that up or not for you. But I can tell you, I can see the smoke roaring right now. Sirens have sounded in Jerusalem and southern West Bank settlements. Preceding the sirens by about 2 minutes, an early warning was issued at the home front command. Okay. So, and here's the picture. I wonder if I can this is from an iPad, and I'm just going to try to show it to you without losing the page. That's never easy for me. But there it is. You can see the missile landed. It hit. You see the explosion, and 3 children were injured. So the Houthis are firing missiles at Israel, but they came up short there. Their rocket hit in the West Bank and injured 3 Palestinian children. So I want you to pray. This is a very fluid situation. Tonight, it is the beginning of the Sabbath in Israel, which has just started as the sun set. And, of course, the Iranians are going to use this moment to really fire at Israel. You knew that, but the Iranians are doing, if they're just using the Houthis right now, I think that the main attack that's going to come up on Israel, a barrage of rockets, maybe ballistic missiles, maybe even hypersonic or supersonic missiles. We just don't know what all the Iranians have. We know last night Israel crippled the Iranians' ability to make a quick response. Israel just literally blew up and hit several of the Iranian nuclear facilities. And we also know that Israel has killed them. I don't know what I did. Oh, here it is. Israel has killed, let me grab this, the top commanders of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull this up right now and give you some of that information as it's happening. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to stay on top of this war between Israel and Iran. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to keep you up to speed of everything. Here's what's going on. The supreme leader, of course, is the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. If I can grab this, let's see if I can pull this up. I'd like for you to see it. So give me one moment. We'll do a little Begley technology here. We're going to share the screen, and we're going to show you exactly the chain of command here for the. There we go. So we're going to look at the chain of command for the Iranians. And as you can see at the top there, Major General Mohammad Bagheri, the chief of staff of Iran's armed forces, was among the dead, according to Iranian state media. Officials said as the top nuclear negotiator was also killed. So the guy who was the top negotiator, who was supposed to negotiate with the United States tomorrow on a nuke deal, he's dead. Okay? Now, there you see at the top, the leader of the country is the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. He is the supreme leader. Below him, the military generals. There was Mohammad Bagheri, the commander-in-chief of the Iranian military, second highest commander after supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. He was killed last night. He's dead. He's been replaced by Abdurrahman Masavi, and so he has taken his place. Also, as you can see, Hossein Salami, the commander-in-chief of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran's primary military force, last night, he was killed. He's been replaced by Mohammad Pkwy. All right. Then there is Gholami Rashid, deputy commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He was killed last night. Also Amir Ali Hajjaj, leader of the airspace unit of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. He was killed last night. Also, Ali Shamakami, senior former Navy commander, was overseeing the entire nuclear talks with the United States. He was killed last night. Also, the nuclear scientist, Abadasi, former head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, he was killed last night. Also, Mohammed Mahdi, physicist and president of the Islamic Assad University in Tehran, he was killed last night. So you're looking at the generals and the main guys that are in charge of their Air Force, in charge of the entire Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the deputy commanders, the guy in charge of the airspace units, the second guy in command, the guy in charge of the Navy, and two major nuclear scientists. They were all killed last night by Israel, not counting a lot of the nuclear facilities were hit. Israeli strikes this morning have dealt a major blow to Iran's military chain of command by killing at least 3 of its top generals, along with the senior politician and at least 2 nuclear scientists, according to Iranian state media officials. And now we're getting reports that just a few minutes ago, the presidential palace and the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's compound had come under assault. Now, I don't know if it was drones. I don't know what was used. Iran is saying that they have shot those down, that those did not get to the Ayatollah. But now we have a propaganda war, of course. We have to keep our eyes on what all this means. I'm not going to read all of that, but again, there is the chain of command, and there's definitely some shifting going on here. Okay, look at that list that have been taken out of the Iranians. So we're in a definite war. Like I said, there was five missiles that were fired. Let me see here. Trying to operate 4 different devices at once. And I'm and we're talking PBT, publicly technology for sure. But it's improving. It's improving. I'm getting my act together. So anyway, we want you to, we got 2 new updates. Hang on. 2 new updates. Let me just see if I can get these to you. Here we go. Here it is. The United Nations, the UN Conference on Israel-Palestinian Conflict has now been postponed, according to Emmanuel Macron of France. President Emmanuel Macron says that the United Nations conference co-hosted by France and Saudi Arabia to work toward a 2-state solution between Israel and Palestinians has been postponed after Israel launched its military attack on Iran. Okay, so I bet he's going to blame Israel for this. Macron tells reporters that the conference, which had been planned for June 17th through June 20th, and today, of course, is Friday the 13th. So it was planned for next week, June 17th through June 20th, has been postponed for logistical reasons, as members of the Palestinian Authority could not travel to New York, and that it would be rescheduled as soon as possible. Yeah, Israel's not going to let them even leave to go to New York, okay? Also, Iranian media just announced they're reporting massive explosions now in the center of their country. This massive explosion was heard in Isfahan, which is a major city in the central part of Iran. It's also in the province that it is home. It is home to several nuclear facilities, according to the Mirror News agency out of Egypt. And they just said a few minutes ago, a massive explosion was heard in Isfahan, according to the news media. Now we just got another update. According to the reports, the Israeli Air Force has just struck an Iranian nuclear facility near Isfahan, and the IDF spokesman, Brigadier General Defrin, he said in a press conference a moment ago, he said that Isfahan joins the Nance on the list of nuclear sites that Israel has confirmed targeting. And there has been a massive explosion there. So Israel has hit that nuclear plant. There has also been reports and footage of the attack on the Fordo nuclear site. Okay? So there's it apparent now. Last night, Israel destroyed the Nance nuclear facility. Now, just minutes ago, the nuclear facility in Isfahan has been hit, and now there's reports that the Fordo nuclear site is under attack right now. We will not allow Iran to advance toward a nuclear bomb. We will not allow the development of missiles intended to harm us. And so this is breaking news just now. And so Israel tonight busy going after the nuclear facility. So let's recap this. Last night, Israel went after the leadership of Iran, the military leaders, as well as the nuclear leaders and the nuclear scientists. And they really wiped out the top brass, including Brigadier General Salami. And he's the guy who took over for that General Soleimani, who Trump killed in a drone strike 4 years ago. So now they've killed Salami. They've wiped out basically Iran's all their top leaders when it comes to their nuclear facilities and their army and their air force and their space commander. And two of their top nuclear scientists, all dead. So Israel was focused on the assassinations as well as the bombing, overwhelming bombing. In the confusion, they had apparently teams of assassins in there. Now they've tried to hit the presidential palace, and they may have just used drones on that, and that might have been a diversion to keep the Ayatollah off his game, while they went and they're blowing up the Fordo nuclear plant. Now, I know this. I've been reporting on this for years. I know that Nance had a nuclear plant. I know that Fordo was a big nuclear plant that was there. And then there's one called Bashir, and that one was a $1 billion nuclear plant that was built by the Russians. They haven't went after Bashir yet. They are also going after different smaller locations where centrifuges are, where enriched uranium is, or where pieces and parts in production of missiles and that are being put together for nukes. They're bombing those locations, but they're also going after their main nuclear plant. So this is all going on right now, guys, as we speak. We are watching it. I'm reporting it in real time. In real time. Heidi has been keeping a close eye on all the bombing coming into Israel. There's been 5 rockets that have gone into Israel that we know of. And there hasn't been any more alerts since I just told you that there was 5. So it's on, guys. Rockets are hitting Israel right now, but Israel is blowing up as we speak the Fordo nuclear facility in Iran. I wonder when I recorded this song and also Jerusalem's Cry, I never thought the day would come when the song itself would be part of the prophecy of the events happening at this exactly the same time.
Saturday was silent, and surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? And Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. Since when
I do have information about
ever stopped you?
Threats against the United States, and I'll tell you that after the song.
This is the sound of a dry bones rattling. This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power,
I have more breaking news coming out of Jerusalem.
I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again.
We need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
The sound of dry bones rattling.
Mike Huckabee under fire.
My God is able to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that he wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that he can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden. What happens when God says to move? I feel him moving it now. I feel him doing it now. I feel him doing it now. Do it now. Do it now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
Think about it.
This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, and I will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You shall live, 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 live. Okay, we've got more breaking news coming out of the Middle East right now. coming out of the Middle East right now, and that is the United States Embassy. I repeat, the United States Embassy in Jerusalem has just now ordered their staff, and that includes U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. They've all been ordered to go into shelter in place now until further notice. So the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem has just ordered all the staff, including Ambassador Mike Huckabee, into the shelter in place, into the bunkers there, until further notice, because the attack on Israel is in process. Meanwhile, Israel is attacking the Iranian nuclear facilities, and it's quite an impressive display of power by the Israeli IDF. Now, let's go to the Bible, because what does the prophecies say? Well, in the book of Zechariah, one thing the Bible said was, the Bible says, don't touch the apple of God's eye, because that is Israel, okay? And it also says this in Zechariah chapter 12. It says, the burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth, laid the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah, which is the West Bank, and against Jerusalem. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people, and all that burden themselves with it shall be cut into pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. So the prophecy of wanting to go get Jerusalem, and the fact that right now the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem has been put on lockdown, and all of the staff there, including Ambassador Huckabee, are going into the shelters, into the bunkers, to be protected, because Jerusalem is under siege or under attack. And meanwhile, Israel is destroying the Fordo nuclear facility. There was a massive explosion it just rocked the country. And there's also attacks in different locations where different nuclear material is stored. So all of this is going on as we speak. It's just started the Sabbath. It is Friday the 13th. Are you serious? And meanwhile, there are threats on the United States. Now, it's very important, guys. You all know that tomorrow is Flag Day, June 14th. It is also for the American Flag Day. It is also the celebration of the U.S. Army's 250th birthday tomorrow. And a massive military parade in Washington, D.C. will be taking place. It will be incredible to watch. And it's also the Commander-in-Chief of the United States, the President of the United States. It's his birthday. This is amazing. But also, there is demonstrations. There is potential violent protesting, and even rioting is anticipated to happen across America, as there's 2,000 separate locations will be demonstrating. And so the United States National Security, Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, I'm sure that the FBI Director, Kash Patel, everybody, okay? Everybody that's involved in security, all the sheriffs across the nation, local law enforcement, whether it be city, county, police, state police officers. You can imagine how much security. How in the world do you set up enough security for 2,000 separate locations in one nation while a military parade's going on, while a war is raging in the Middle East, as well as a war still going on in Europe? So we are in an absolute most volatile time in history, and we're going to continue to watch it. We're going to monitor the rockets that are coming into Israel. We're going to monitor what's going on minute to minute in Iran. And guys, as we talked about at Patreon, very concerned about a release. Very concerned. And does it have, you have to wonder, could there be some type of bioweapon used in these 2,000 locations where this is going to take place? You just don't know. Okay. There's a lot of concerns, security concerns out there. And that's one of them I think we got to look at. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Last night's broadcast is vital to listen to. Mike Around the World brought some extremely important information forward. And even the first, how many hours? For the first 2 hours before Mike came on, we were covering live events when the attack on Iran took place. And then we started finding reports of assassinations of some of their top leadership. We cover a lot of information in those first 2 hours, even before Mike came on. So you got to check this out. It's a great broadcast. Stay with us right here. This is your channel to maintain prophecy taking place right before your very eyes. And also, I'll be teaching on the zombie apocalypse, the return of Legion, the demonic forces that are absolutely manifesting on this earth right now. I'll be teaching this on Super Saturday. It's going to be called June 21st, Super Saturday. I'll be teaching for 3 hours on this demonology. You can get your ticket right now. Go to my website. Right when you go to Paul Begley Prophecy, there it is. It's right there on the screen. Boom. Big as you please. Click it. Get your ticket. And when you get your ticket, when you order your ticket, then you instantly have a link to the workbook, 13-page workbook on the teachings that I'm going to be doing on June 21st. So you can go and get your ticket now and get your workbook now. Print it out. It'll be on a PDF. And you can be studying this before you can get out ahead of it. You can be studying this for a week before we even start the teaching on Saturday at 12 noon to 3 p.m. I'll be teaching live. You can, if you want to, you can be there live in the classroom along with in a chat room with it, or you can just order the ticket and then after it airs on Saturday, June 21st, then you can watch the archives. And no matter what, if you watch it live or not, it is still yours. The archive will belong to you, and you can watch it as many times as you want. It's all at my website. It will happen all at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. I'll be back, guys. Pray, please, for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and also pray for protection. Plead the blood of Jesus over the United States of America.